Hey Student Success, welcome to week 6 of the semester. This is going to take us from November 30th through December 6th. So December is right here, it's creeping up on us, which means we're also almost finished with the course. So that is great news. As I have been the last few weeks, I'm going to start off with reminding you that you have a student services workshop assignment due. So here again, right here under the lessons area, you'll see student services assignment. There is the link to the workshops with the Zoom links and how to register. And then when you go to submit your certificate, again, it's your certificate because you can register for a workshop but then not attend. So I don't need the registration. That doesn't show me anything other than you filled out a form. I need the actual certificate to show that you actually attended the workshop. So when you get the certificate, which most presenters will tell you to go through Blackboard, and instead of clicking on courses, you'll click on organizations. You'll be able to take a survey based on the workshop, and then you'll have your certificate, and you will upload it into this area here. As a reminder, our semester ends on a Friday, December 18th, so that is when your certificate is due. So that is kind of your ongoing reminder with your student services assignment. So if you haven't attended one already, please do so. If you have attended, make sure you get that certificate to me as soon as you can. All right, so I'm going to scroll down to week 6, and we're in chapter 6. I love it when the weeks and the chapters align like this. So chapter 6 is all about test taking, and I know that's not everyone's favorite part of the academic journey, but it is a necessary part of our academic process throughout our academic careers. So in the materials folder, you'll see that there are some notes, the link for the textbook, and some chapter 6 slides. So I won't go through all of this because it's 21 pages. So I will have you kind of go, as I always recommend, head to where you think you need the most help. So they will talk about this in this 21 pages, and this is borrowed from a different resource. You can see it's from a different college here. Preparing for tests, like test preparation doesn't start a day or two before the test. It starts really at the beginning of the semester, making sure that you know what's going on in the class, in the syllabus, you're attending class, you're being engaged, you're studying little by little leading up to assessments. So it'll talk about that, how to get your tools and resources available and ready, whether it's notes or graphic organizers, making sure that you're studying thoroughly enough, whatever flashcards or Quizlet or anything like that you want to use. And then it's going to go into some kind of ways to predict test questions as well as to get ready for the test. So how do you prepare the day before the test? What do you do the day of the test? And then it's going to go into specific types of tests because you really ideally should prepare for tests differently depending on how they're set up. So multiple choice tests, for instance, there are certain strategies that you should be prepared to use versus if you're taking an essay test. So it's going to talk to you about multiple choice questions, making sure that you read the entire question first, kind of covering up all the answers, anticipate what the answer will be, and then read all of the options, eliminating ones that are wrong and, based on your anticipation of what the correct answer is, and then only change your answer once you know if you have an absolutely good reason to change it, because more often than not, we change a right answer to a wrong answer, not vice versa. So you have to, if you're going to change your answer, make sure you know why you're doing it, have a good justification for it. And it's going to go into like true and false, if you still have a matching, by some chance if you have matching columns, short answer and fill in the blank, and then essay. I think sometimes you're going to see more of these in a lot of your higher level courses eventually, where you're going to have to do some planning, do some brainstorming, matching thesis back to the prompt, making outlines, proofreading, all of that goes into your essays as well. And so it's going to go into some more depths, and then it's even going to go into like a math test and then in general. So just maybe spend some time on some of these components. Then it's going to get into a section on kind of academic honesty, integrity pieces, because this is going to be part of one of the assignments you're going to see this week. You know, making sure that you're being academically honest, and how do you do that? You know, how are you ensuring that you're being academically honest? You know, one thing is making sure obviously that you're prepared, you're not, so that you're not tempted to ask for other people's help or looking off their papers. So it's going to go into some of that critical thinking. So lots of information here on general test taking. Okay, and then of course there's a link to your actual textbook chapter on chapter 6, and so it'll go into depth over here. Test anxiety, if you suffer from test anxiety, which I think a lot of us do to some degree. Sometimes it's very minimal, other times it's a bit more kind of paralyzing. Different kinds of taking tests, to how to study, how to use your test result, like what do you do after you get your test back? Hopefully you don't just say, oh, okay, great, or oh, I did poorly, and then not look at it again, that you use it to move forward. So lots of good information in here about preparing for, taking, reviewing, and academic honesty, and all of that as related to tests. Okay, so let's get back into what we're doing then this week. You have a few assignments to work on. So let me get into the assignment folder. Your first one is your Chapter 6 discussion. And so your Chapter 6 discussion for week 6 is going to be due Wednesday, December 2nd for attendance for this week. And then as always, responded to classmates by Sunday so that you get full points for this particular assignment. So Chapter 6 discussion, you can see there are 2 questions and you're just answering these in 3 to 5 sentences. And you can do that kind of both questions in 3 to 5 sentences. Question 1, what forms of academic dishonesty are most prevalent on your campus? So remember back here, I started to say that it does talk a little bit down here about, you know, test etiquette and cheating and being academically honest. So question 1, what forms do you see most prevalent on your campus? Now, some of you are CCP, so you're still in high school, so you can talk about what you see in your high school. If you are like first semester new to Stark State and you're only taking online courses and you don't know because you haven't been in class, you can talk about previous high school experiences or previous college experiences or what you might anticipate could be kind of prevalent in terms of academic dishonesty. That means, like, is there plagiarism going on? Is there cheating going on? You know, what could be happening there? And then what can you do to avoid them in your own career? So answer both of those questions in about 3 to 5 sentences. You can kind of group those both together in one response. And then, as always, like I said, responded to classmates by Sunday. That's your Chapter 6 discussion. Next, you're going to have a Chapter 6 assignment. You'll see there's a couple parts to this. So first, read the attached article. Right here, fake news article, updated PDF. So that is what is open right here. And you'll go through, it's from earlier this year, talking about fake news in Singapore. So you see the first page is really just a graphic for the most part, so it's not a lot of reading. So you'll read this article. It's fairly short and sweet. I said really just 2 pages of actual reading, not long at all. That's the first part. Read the article. Second, choose one of the following verbs and write a short essay question about this article. So choose a verb, or I've had people choose, you know, compare and contrast. They've choose justify and list. So you can choose more than one if you feel like it fits well. And then answer your question. So I have a lot of students forget part 3. So make sure you choose your verb and create a question and then answer your question. And you could probably just go do this right in here. Click on the assignment. And under write submission, you know, put your question and then put your answer or whatever format fits best for you. So just make sure you do all 3 parts. Read the article, create a sentence using one of these verbs, because they talk about this in our slides over here, like essay questions and how often they are worded, and then answer your essay question. That's Chapter 6, that's due by Sunday. Your next assignment is your Test Your Memory survey. You'll see there's 2 parts to it. The reason being is here's the actual survey. So you'll click on this. It's going to pop up a little activity that's going to do what it sounds like. It's going to test your memory. I cannot see how you do on this. That's why the second part is here. Using your results from the survey, answer these 3 questions. How many words were you able to remember? Which words did you forget? And what memory techniques did you use to help you remember? So complete the survey first, then click in here and you'll see that the questions are posed again. And you can just write in here, submission 1, 2, 3. Answer those 3 questions right in there and hit submit. Okay, so that's your next assignment, is complete the survey first, and then based on your results of that survey, answer those 3 questions. The last thing you are doing is how well do you study? This is another kind of survey. I do get to see this, but it's an automatically graded assignment. So you'll complete it as long as you let it go to the very last slide, you hit submit. You might see it say like in progress for a little bit, but then eventually a grade should appear in Blackboard. So make sure that your grade appears in Blackboard. That's how you know that it copied over okay. Sometimes I said there is a little bit of a lag, but within a couple hours you should see a grade. Right? So that is your last assignment for this week. So again, for week 6, we are in chapter 6. You're completing the test your memory survey and then answering the 3 questions that go along with it. Your chapter 6 assignment on the article, and you're creating a short answer question and answering it. Your chapter 6 discussion for week 6 attendance by Wednesday, where you're talking about academic dishonesty. And then how well do you study assessment due by Sunday. And then of course, remember to respond to 2 classmates in there. That is your week 6. I did want to give you the heads up, as I have let you all know. Week 1 is going to be reopening, and you can see, yep, right here, this coming weekend, week 6 weekend. So December 4th, 5th, 6th. So the weekend of week 6, week 1 will reopen for anyone who maybe just was getting the hang of the class at the very beginning of the second 8 weeks. Maybe you missed that week for whatever reason, or maybe you only missed 1 or 2 assignments. You're going to have a chance to make that up. So be on the lookout for that Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the end of week 6. All right, hope everyone has a great week. Bye.